Hi, everyone. I am back. This is, I think, like my fourth live stream today, but I am with Chairman Brian Schimming, and he is on a time constraint. So let's just dive right in. I wanted to get an update on what is happening. It is 3:52 Central, so there's 4 hours left to vote. What are you hearing?
Yeah, anecdotally, and I apologize for my whatever. I'm in the car driving to Milwaukee, and anecdotally, I've been talking to people all over the state. Very high turnout. Washington County, north of Milwaukee, they're reporting 70% turnout, which is
Whoa.
oftentimes above gubernatorial level turnout. So that is extremely high. I'm going to pull over here. Um, that is very, very high turnout. So, but I talked to our friend Stephanie Socek up in Door County. She's seeing very, very high turnout there. She's an election day inspector at her voting place up there in Sturgeon Bay. Everyone I've talked to today has been very, very high turnout. I do think as you know, I was doing Steve Bannon's show earlier today, and I was telling him there's high awareness. I mean, usually you have a pretty significant drop off, of course, in election day vote or off year election day vote. And I think that will still be the case. But there's a November energy to it because of literally this has been a 90 to $100 million campaign. I mean, this has been, as you know,
Really?
Scarlett, a
That
very,
much?
yeah,
I didn't even know
that
that.
much all in both sides. Um, and of course, third party groups are spending as well on both sides. So we're going to see somewhere between 80 and probably $90 million campaign for all in.
Well, Elon Musk just did about a 10-minute just an audio space. And he said that this election is about saving the civilization, human civilization. So, I mean,
Yeah. He didn't miss high school drama class.
yeah,
But you
I
know
mean,
what? He's not wrong. I mean, you and I have been speaking at these events, and he's not wrong. It's congressional seats, 2 congressional seats here in Wisconsin. It's school choice. It's charter schools. It's boys and girls locker rooms and bathrooms.
it's
It's
voter ID.
abortion. It's what's that?
Voter ID.
It's voter ID. There is. I mean, one thing I think I've been saying at different events that this is as important as a gubernatorial election, and then people will come up to me and say, "Really, you really think it's as important as a gubernatorial election?" And I said, "Yes." And I said, with the governor, you're the relate having worked for 3 former governors. Your relationship is with the legislature basically, and you're signing or vetoing things the legislature sends you. You can start different initiatives. The governor's office has a lot of power, has a lot of veto power, but with the Supreme Court, this one seat on the Supreme Court has extra impact for a couple of reasons. Number one, it flips the court, currently liberal to conservative, and
Yeah.
so you get different decisions out of there. Well, the court's decisions affect the governor's office, affect the powers of the governor's office, affect decisions of the governor's office, affect all those same things with both houses of the legislature. So in essence, while they're supposedly 3 branches of government, I will tell you the courts have enormous power. And if the court goes liberal in a place where people who don't like what the Republican legislature is doing, people will head for the courtroom to try to undo or whatever the legislature is doing. So then all of a sudden, and I'm thinking about this having worked in both the Assembly, the Senate, the governor's office, all of a sudden that becomes a calculation. I mean, it may be unspoken, but it can become a calculation in what you pass or what you don't pass.
Yes.
So the interconnectivity of what the court can do when the court's attitude is not a conservative federalist attitude of the court calling balls and strikes and doing it that way, but an attitude of, look, we as members of the Supreme Court are indeed supreme, and we can put our hands on whatever we feel like putting them on, whether it's the governor's powers, whether it's what happens in the legislature. So, in that respect, it's scary stuff.
Yeah, it is. When they're looking at their role as above the governor, above the president. So at the federal level, the Court of Appeals is above the president. And here at the state level, the state Supreme Court is above the governor, above the legislature, above the will and the desires of the people. Like they are the ultimate, they are, I guess, the arbiters of democracy, according to what Democrats call. They're going to restore democracy. And whatever they say, it's like the opposite. You have to, they are, when they say something, you have to imagine it's the opposite. But I think it is, I think what he's referring to is, okay, so voter ID goes out the window. Then Wisconsin gerrymanders, the Supreme Court, the Democrat Party, the Tony Evers, they gerrymander our congressional districts and hand the House back to Democrats. I think that Wisconsin but imagine what we'll be doing in 2028 for the presidential race.
Yeah.
I think that if we ain't seen nothing yet as far as shenanigans, as far as elections and voter integrity. I think that we will look like we're going to look an awful lot like Chicago if we get rid of all of the things all the good things. You were in the Scott Walker administration. All of the good work it'll be gone. It'll disappear. Poof.
Well,
It's
the situation
scary.
with the courts, I mean, you raise a good point. Essentially, what we'll have in Wisconsin, in theory, and well, actually not in theory, in reality, will be analogous to what President Trump happening to him by federal judges right now. Federal judges that are clearly over their skis, to use an old, is clearly over their skis in basically running foreign policy, running domestic policy. When they don't agree with something President Trump is doing, they think nothing of throwing it out or
Yeah.
freezing it or whatever. We could, a Republican governor in Wisconsin could end up having the exact same problem with the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Very analogous to what's going on with Donald Trump and with federal judges and federal appellate courts right now. So I mean, if people wonder, if you're wondering why that might be a problem, look at what President Trump's going through with federal courts right now. That could frankly be the blueprint for what's going on in state courts with the Republican legislature and potentially a former or a Republican governor
Yep.
after next year.
Yeah. Who is going to hold the state Supreme Court accountable? It will be very difficult. I mean, look at what just happened in 2022 with the redrawing. I know that the Republicans looked at every possible angle. How can we fight back? And it's increased. It's very difficult. The likelihood of the Supreme Court taking up a case, it just becomes very complicated, and they know it. I do think that what is happening to President Trump on the federal level is the perfect analogy to what will happen in Wisconsin. And frankly, Elon Musk is brilliant. He sends rockets up, to space, to the moon, and he just rescued the two astronauts. He has access to a whole lot of data,
Oh
and
yeah.
he's clearly seen something, probably a lot more than we know. He is seeing something, and this race is very important to him, and I think for good reason. He knows probably even more than we know how important this is and how precarious a situation our country is in right now. If Trump is going to be successful, we can't lose Wisconsin.
Well, and which brings us back to as you said, the point. There's 4 hours to go to save this state. There's 4 hours to go to save two Republican congressional seats. I mean, just to be candid about it, there's 4 hours to go for people watching us right now, not only to go vote themselves if they haven't voted early or haven't voted today yet, but also the phone that I'm talking on now and that almost everybody has now, some kind of smartphone or flip phone or whatever you got in your contact file, and I mean this very literally. In your contact file, whether you only have 30 people in there or 300 people in there or 3,000 people in there, in your contact file, there's at least 5 to 10 people in your contacts that you could call and say, have you voted yet? And the earlier you do it, if you're watching this and then jump onto your phone and go, I want to catch people, because it gets tougher after people get home. If they're at work and get home, it gets tougher to blast them off the couch
Yes.
and get back out there. So it's good to catch people now if they're out running around or they're on the way home from work. Do it now. Go look at literally look at your contacts and pick out at least 5 people, and so you help get those 5, 7, 8, 10 people out to vote. It helps Brad Schimmel. It helps DPI candidate Brittany Kinzer. Helps us on the yes
Yes.
vote on the referenda. But frankly, and a point that you made before is super. You have hundreds of local candidates around the
Yes.
state running for school board, running for maybe village or town board or city council or whatever. Literally hundreds of candidates out there who are conservatives. And every single spring election day happens every single year. We have people who win or lose by literally 5 or 10 votes, oftentimes under 10 votes. They win or lose. Well, you could end up literally, just one person could literally end up flipping a village board or a school board. We have a lot of close school boards, could end up flipping the power on a local school board, just because when you're done watching this with us, you get on your smartphone, cause the extra 3, 5, 6, 8, 10 people to go vote, and all of a sudden you flipped a school board in your area just because of what one person does. Literally one person.
Yeah, when this is done, you've got to go to we're going to keep it short and sweet. This is done, share it with somebody. Share it with your chat group. Share it with, I have a family chat group, I have friend chat groups, I have all this. Share it and just say, listen and go vote. Just take the time. It's really easy. Just tell them wherever they went to go vote for 2024, go to that same location. And if they don't know where to vote, just go to myvotewisconsin.com and
Easy to do.
it's super easy. I do that all the time for people. It can be a pain, but it's a short thing. I just want to point out now I'm seeing posts on X that they're Burnett County, high turnout. That's good. That's
Yes.
good. Oneida counties, Langlade County, high turnout. Where else? I mean, Nathan, Nathan, he's saying the turnout is off the charts. I'm just, is that what you're hearing? Are you hearing that we are seeing high turnout where we need it?
Yeah, we are seeing high turnout everywhere in the state. I mean, one of the tricky things on high turnout in Republican counties is you don't know if some of that is turnout that, like an early vote, sometimes you get a high early vote, but what that might be is not new voters, but voters who would have voted today anyway, but they just voted earlier to get it out of the way, which is fine. It's great. So it's hard to know what it means, but generally, high turnout in those redder areas on northern Wisconsin ought to be really good for Brad Schimmel, because what happened with the president, to your point, what happens with President Trump was that essentially a lot of places outside the Milwaukee or Madison area that turned out kind of outweighed what happened in those two cities. About 37% of the vote in Democrat, of the state numbers are in Milwaukee and Madison. So we get an incrementally higher vote in some of the red counties, the ones you just mentioned, outstate, and that might deliver the victory to Brad Schimmel and save the state, literally save the state.
Yeah, there's someone, Michael Pruser, I don't know if I'm saying it. He's talking and saying when talking about these turnout numbers, we don't know exactly what it means. I think that sometimes when people hear that there's enthusiasm, it excites them and they want to be part of it. I am saying this is a way to say be part of the wave. Like, don't take this as, oh, I can stay home, it's good. No, we need to go gangbusters. Like be part of this enthusiasm wave, be part of this movement, get out there, take nothing for granted, just like we did with Trump. Take absolutely nothing for granted. Do not think you're safe. Oh, I don't need my one vote, doesn't matter. There, when 100 people say that, your vote matters.
Absolutely.
I mean, when Hubdy loses by 27,000 votes statewide, that is such a small. That's just 27,000 people that said my one vote doesn't count. Is the
Right.
difference between Tammy Baldwin, who voted against Sage's law, who voted against saving sports, girls' sports for women, who will vote against every common sense bill, every common sense piece of legislation, who will just say no instinctively to anything. If Trump said, I want to solve world peace, like, no, voting it down. There's nothing that he can do right. There's nothing Elon Musk can do right. Just like in Wisconsin, there isn't anything that Republicans can do that they're going to sign on to just because they're just going to vote against. They don't build things, they tear things down. So don't take it for granted. Go out and vote. Improve the
Yeah,
number.
which is why I'm thankful for you and for Moms for Liberty, because this really is a matter, especially with 4 hours. When you think about it, this thing's been going on for a year and a half. It ends in 4 hours.
Four
This
hours.
ends in the state's future, and maybe literally the future of the House of Representatives ends in 4 hours. So the importance. I mean, if you're a Trump voter and you truly like what he's doing and you want the president to be successful, you need to vote between now and 8 o'clock tonight. Because if this goes the wrong way, it's going to hurt all the way to the White House. Usually you can't say that, but with this race, it definitely does.
And I would say if you're not political, but you really hated the news cycle from 2016 to 2020 and you were sick of hearing about it, go vote for Brad Schimmel so you don't have to hear about it, because
Yep, that's right.
the Democrats won't be able to impeach and hold constant hearings about ridiculous things, wasting our time and taking over, giving new life to CNN. So if you just want things to be normal, just vote for Brad Schimmel, vote for Brittany Kinzer,
Yep,
vote for, just look, I'm telling you, if you just look at your county GOP, you are voting for just normal, average people. They are not activists. They are not out to like make revolutionary change. They are just normal people that want to live a normal life like you and me. Vote for sanity and normalcy. Like, it's
yep,
common sense normal. I just keep pounding that home. Vote for normal. We're sick and tired of the craziness. We just
that we
want
are.
peace. And so go vote for that. If you just want everyone to shut if you just want Trump to be able to do his job and get it done, then go out and vote. And I think a lot of people voted for Trump because they just wanted things to get back to
Yeah,
normal.
that's for sure. You can do it again. I mean, if you put an investment into a vote in Trump in November, you can follow up on it now, because if we don't win tonight, that your original investment is frankly going to
Yep.
deteriorate. So we have to spend a few minutes between now and 8 o'clock making sure that investment pays off. If you like what President Trump's doing, you don't want the Democrats to take over again, you need to vote in Wisconsin today.
That, what a good point. That if you put the time and investment and you worked and you drove out and you waited for hours and hours to see Trump when he came to Wisconsin all those times, and you put your effort and heart and soul into it, all of that in just how many, he just got inaugurated. We were there. It was freezing.
Yeah,
Um, all of that work in just, a few short months, it goes away. And it was for naught. So let's not let that happen.
Right.
Let's support common sense. Let's support the president. And Elon Musk is he's just a smart, kind of nerdy guy that is trying to fix things. And that's it. He's not some evil mastermind. He is just trying to do something good for the country and clean up a big mess.
Well,
That
maybe
was
we should catch up and do this again later. It's going to be an
Yep,
interesting
we
night.
should. All right.
Really.
Yeah, I know you're about to go on some other stuff. So thanks for coming on, Brian. We really appreciate the update.
Okay, and I appreciate you and everything. And Moms for Liberty, just
Thank
fantastic.
you.
It's honestly, it's one of the more exciting new, relatively new groups, for people who want to. And as you know, I couldn't have a higher opinion of you. You've been terrific, and not only right where you live, but as I said when we used to be on radio together and things like that, you've been so great at empowering people and making people believe. And getting them to believe they can make a difference. And that's a literal truth with you. So I sure.
Thank you. Sorry, he got cut off, I guess. He had to go. But Brian, you'll watch this later. Thank you so much. You've been a mentor to me. I really appreciate everything that you just said. If I can empower anyone and make them believe that they can make a difference, then I have done very, very good work. I want really quickly, I want to reiterate, Moms for Liberty is supporting key targeted races, and all of our chapters, we are trying to help over 400 school board candidates get across the finish line. It's very difficult. Sometimes school board races can be harder to win than even statewide races. And we're not going to win them all, but let's try to win as many as possible. If you're in Waukesha, the Moms for Liberty Waukesha is supporting all of the WISRED candidates. There are many. In Washington County, go to your Washington County Moms for Liberty or your Washington County GOP, and there are a lot of really great candidates in Ozaukee County. Please support the 3 conservative candidates that are running in Cedarburg, and they have been under fire a lot. Paul, I'm going to say his last name wrong, Paul Desmek, Laura Strobel, and Elizabeth Charlin in Cedarburg. Get out and vote for them. They have been, they've been attacked by Minocqua Brewing Company so much. And there are so many in Kenosha. Racine, Kenosha has candidates. Racine, I know I'm leaving things up. Winnebago County. We've got Laura is doing great work there. We've got our Western counties. We've got Jolene, who's St. Croix County. They're doing a fabulous job. I think all their candidates are going to win, but get out and vote for them. Then we've got Polk County with Stephanie, and we've got Burnett County with Wendy. I'm going through it trying to remember. We've got so many great. We've got Wood County with Mary Jo. They are working so hard. They have built a lot of coalitions, support all of their candidates. I know there's going to be more that are going to come to mind, but we've got so many great chapter leaders. We got Misty in Racine. So, they've always done a really good job to support their candidates. We've got a bunch of new. We have Crystal. Manitowoc. We've got Two Rivers. My friend Kathy is running in Two Rivers, and please support her. She just did a phenomenal job with the Brad Schimmel event in Two Rivers this weekend. She did a great job. She is such a high quality person and a tremendous candidate, and she is the only conservative of 4. Vote for her. I'm going to try to put. Yeah, I'll try as it comes up. Trying to up the top of my head, who are all the great candidates that you need to get out and vote for? But they're all they're all on Facebook. Momsforliberty.org. Go to Moms for Liberty county chapter pages on Facebook. They will have the information that you need. Visit if you want to know which school board candidates your county GOP is endorsing, go to their page. They will have a list. I know that Patriots of Ozaukee County also puts out a list, but it's pretty much the same. We all end up with kind of the same list because we attend the same events and we talk a lot to the candidates. So and just make sure you tell people, because they may know to vote for Brad and they don't know who to vote for school board. They're not paying as close attention as you. And some subdivisions don't allow you to put out signs, so you're not sure, who do I vote for? I'm voting for Brad. I'm voting for Brittany Kinzer. But who do I vote for school board? Who do I vote for county executive? Who do I vote for for a judge, for a DA, whatever? That's just do a little bit of homework, and you will find out. Make a call and reach out to someone like me, someone talk to. Hey, Brett from Turning Point. Who should I support in these down ballot races? Or if you know who you're going to support for school board, but that's it. Well, the easy, vote for Brad, vote for Brittany, and then anyone else, then just reach out and ask someone. Everyone is willing to help. Everyone wants to help right now. And I'm going to, I always say this is going to be short and sweet, but then I end up talking a little bit longer because there's so much to say. So I'm looking at my friend Scott Pressler. Let's take a quick look. He is out and about everywhere. He's using his special superpower of social media superstardom. I mean, to shine the light on Wisconsin. He is doing great work that way. He just met with President Trump. He is a super fabulous guy. Let's see. I've been following, he's doing some images. He's driving around. And let's see what he has to say. I should have tried to get him on. This is we were both at the Elon Musk rally, and here he is. I can't tell you how cold it was. It was really cold. So morale is high, turnout is high. Brad Schimmel has the momentum. I agree. But you can't, if you haven't voted, don't think, oh, they're good. No. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. You never know how many absentee ballots Milwaukee is going to suddenly discover, right? You never know what's going to happen at the 12 a.m. Drop in Milwaukee. We have got to way outperform in everywhere outside of Milwaukee and Dane County. We have got to way overperform. We need to have presidential level, gubernatorial level turnout so that we can outperform and win. And we see right here, this is the truth. I'm going to repost this because this is facts. If Republicans do not win in Wisconsin, they will try to impeach Trump. They will redraw the maps. We will lose the House. If they redraw the maps, we will lose the House. Doge cuts will be reinstated, but no border security. And the next presidential election, the chances of Wisconsin going for potentially the fabulous J.D. Vance, the chances of that lessen because there's no voter ID. You've got drop boxes, every which place that is, the advantage is Democrats. Could possibly lose the state Senate, could possibly lose the state assembly if they were to redraw those lines again. More special elections. I mean, basically, you just keep redrawing the maps till you get what you want. And we have seen it happen in other states. Don't have to look much farther than Illinois and Minnesota to see what happens. So we are saving America right now. We are saving America, but we are saving our state. I love Wisconsin. Born and raised in Wisconsin. I do not want to see my state. I don't want to see my state become Illinois. I don't want to have to wonder how long till we have to sell our home and, become a refugee, move to another state. My husband's business is here, my life is here, my family is here. I love Wisconsin. I love Wisconsin nice. I was a Navy wife. I traveled the world and I could not wait after 12 years to get back to my home state of Wisconsin and, put my kids in school here, have them develop roots here just like I did. And I'd be just heartbroken. It's, I'd be heartbroken to lose this wonderful state. We're not New York. We are not Illinois. We are not far left. We are not that far gone. Even most Democrats in Wisconsin are we're full of common sense. And so we need to return to common sense, and we need to get out and vote today and save our wonderful state. So that'll be it for right now. Yeah. Just saying, we've got it. My husband just came in. He asked what time we have to pick up my daughter from theater practice. I also we get into this larger topic, which it's just really important what's happening with bread, but there's not much when it comes to what's happening with our school boards. When you don't like a school board policy, when you are unhappy about a boy in a girl's bathroom, ultimately there are cases that can reach the state Supreme Court, sure. But those policies are local. Those policies are derived from your school board. Now, school boards are choosing, like in Green Bay, they're choosing to, thumb their nose at Donald Trump's executive order, Linda McMahon, the Office of Civil Rights, and they're trying to find some legal theories in which they can do what they want, and they can continue to include gender identity in the definition of biological sex per Title IX. But if you get common sense school board members on your local school board, that goes away. That goes away. They simply have to you get a new school board, and as soon as they are sworn in, they can call special session, and they can go in, pull up the policy that I think it's usually, I won't say there's usually, it's Neola provides these policies. It's cut and paste. Pretty much every school district that defines sex to include gender identity is using the same ridiculous Neola policy that some ACLU LGBTQIA+++ lawyer has written up, probably under the guidance of Gender Spectrum and GLSEN and every radical left-wing group. So easy thing to do is say we are going to revert back to the 2020 policy of President Trump. We're going to follow executive orders. We are going to follow the executive order that says biological sex means male and female. That's it. There's no such thing as gender identity. And we're going to revert back to the 1972 definition of Title IX, which was meant to protect women and girls, protect their opportunities in education and in sports, and to protect them from sexual harassment, like when a 16-year-old boy goes into a Westosha high school and harasses and exposes himself and pleasures himself in front of them while they are forced to watch in that humiliation ritual. I I am praying so hard that Kenosha County has a huge, huge turnout, because in just a radical rejection of what is happening in Westosha. I hope, even if your kid isn't in Westosha and you have kids in another school district in Kenosha County, run out and support run Eric Meadows. If especially Eric Meadows is great. If you're not voting for him, you've lost your mind. Go vote for Eric Meadows. If he is school board candidate um, in your school district, get out and vote for him. He's a hero. He has suffered a lot, and that he is running again. Hooray for him. There's so many others like him. So, go out there and get at least one conservative, common sense school board member can make a huge difference, because at least there's someone there saying the emperor has no clothes. Okay, there's someone saying the truth. As someone who has sat through school board meetings, and you're just praying that one person on that dais, that one person can say that the truth, and someone can say the truth matters, and someone can say, I know what a woman is, and I know what a mother is, and I know that it is sexual harassment to allow boys into girls' spaces, and I know that it is unfair to allow a boy to play on a female athletic team. And I think it's ridiculous that kids can keep secrets with teachers from parents. That is insane, and that even Bill Maher agrees with that, and even Gavin Newsom, when he's on Bill Maher's show, has to agree. Otherwise, he looks like a crazy person. The only time he can say his radical, crazy stuff is when he's in California, surrounded by, the clown cars. But the minute he's out of that echo chamber, he has to be normal. And Gavin Newsom, the governor, who has admitted boys shouldn't be in girls' sports. Yeah, you shouldn't keep secrets with little kids from their parents if they're in schools. He admits it. And it proves to me that deep down they know the truth. Deep down they know. But they think that they can uh, there's a Kipling poem, The Gods of the Copybook Heading. And the basic, it's an amazing poem, but at the end of the day, it's you can only deny reality so long before nature, God, truth reigns supreme. So you can pretend that boys are girls for only so long until it hits you right square in the face, like when the girls get abused, or when a girl gets hurt, when a girl gets concussed, when a girl is sexually assaulted, when women are sexually assaulted in female prisons because they allowed rapists who are pretending to be women into the cells. There's only so long that you can be that ridiculous. There's only so long that you can allow colleges to import from countries that hate us, import students that hate America, that hate Israel, that hate Christians, that hate Jews, and then think, oh, let's just let them into our universities, no big deal. It's not going to have an effect. All of that, there are causes and effects. And like J.K. Chesterton said, we have the person that looks at a fence, walks in a field and sees a fence, and a person that looks at it and says, oh, you got to take down that fence because, what are they trying? They're trying to prevent people from coming in. What they're not thinking is, hey, wait a second, maybe I should ask some questions because perhaps this fence is up for a reason. Perhaps there is something that the community is trying to keep out. Sometimes there are boundaries for a reason. We are trying to keep something out. We are trying to protect. And so when you woke is an ideology that says, oh, normal is part of the patriarchy, normal is racist, normal perpetuates discrimination, it perpetuates, capitalism and Western civilization. These things are all bad. And so they have no limiting principles. They take down all the fences, they let everything run loose, and it leads to chaos. Chaos, unfortunately, for the Marxist is not is what they want. It is, as they like say, chaos is exactly what they were striving for. Because when things are chaotic, then for some it can be an opportunity. And was it Rahm Emanuel who said, that basically, that chaos can be a gift, like use it. And so we don't want that. We want things to be safe, and we want a country that is secure and thriving and normal. And we would like, not that everything was ever perfect, but we're kind of done with this whole anything goes, no fences. Um, we want individual rights and freedom and liberty, but that means that everyone is able to be afforded their rights, especially parental rights. And that we don't want people compelling our speech, telling us how to raise our kids, telling us what to think, telling our kids what to think, what to feel, what they can and can't, what their values are. That is something that a parent does, and that's what we believe in Moms for Liberty. That parents are the ultimate deciders of our kids' values, and until they're 18, they're our responsibility. We're the ones that pay for the braces. We're the ones that take care of them. We are the ones that love them. We know them best. And and if you don't like the way that we're raising our kids, have your own. Get your own and raise them the way that you would like, but don't interfere with the way I raise my kids. Don't interfere, respect a family, and look at schools as places to educate, and stop looking at them as therapy centers or community service centers where we're going to one-stop shops to provide everything. Parents have responsibilities too. Parents raise kids. Parents need to figure things out and can't rely on schools to raise their children. So with parental rights come responsibilities, and shame on parents who expect schools to raise their children. And teachers have every right to say, that's not my job. My job, I will take care of your kids. I will teach your kids. I will be respectful, and I will do my best to not do harm. But teachers don't raise children. Government doesn't raise children. Families raise children. Parents raise children. So let's just get back to normal and do what we have known as humans is the right thing for a very, very long time, and prioritize families and traditional family. It's okay to want to get married and to have kids, and we should. I believe what Elon Musk says. I think we should have more babies. As a mom of 5, have lots of them. They're the greatest. It can be a struggle, but best thing that you ever do. All right. I did want to. Oh, I did want to play really quick. What's the segment with The segment with Charlie Kirk just went so well, and I really want to play like the full segment and not just the one part that I played before. So I'm looking for it really fast. Again, this is all this. I called Brian and I said, let's do an update really fast. And so this is why it's like this right now. So I'm going to find the segment from yesterday. It was really good. I was really, really happy with it. And we were the last, with the last two segments. Okay, I found it. Good. Right. Let's do this. All right.
Supporting our veterans, this is where you belong. Switching is simple. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Patriot Mobile is a 100% US-based service team while you get activated in minutes. Right now, go to patriotmobile.com/Charlie. That is patriotmobile.com/Charlie, or call 972-PATRIOT to get a free month. Go to patriotmobile.com/Charlie. That is patriotmobile.com/Charlie. Make the switch. Defend freedom with every call and text you make. That's patriotmobile.com/Charlie, or call 972-PATRIOT, patriotmobile.com/Charlie. Okay, everybody, this is a very difficult story to cover. It is Scarlett Johnson, Moms for Liberty, Wisconsin. Just a breathtaking story. Scarlett, welcome to the program. Tell us about this story and the elements related to it, please.
Hi, thanks for having me. Yeah, this story is actually insane. It's a story of Westosha, Wisconsin, which is in Kenosha County. And in December, this broke, and I was able to work with the local community and parents. It's just insane. A biological male, 16 years old, obvious male, over 200 pounds, who identified as trans, was allowed to change in the girls' locker room. Freshman girls, so these are 13 and 14-year-old girls, were terrified. This boy has alleged to strip nude, to leer at the girls while they were changing, and even alleged that he rubbed lotion on his genitalia to, quote, prevent chafing. I had to do a lot of research before I even started to post this on X and start to sound all the alarms, because it was hard to believe. It was hard to believe that this was happening in Wisconsin, but it absolutely was. Putting on a skirt and some makeup, putting on a woman face does not make a boy a man. And this insane transgender ideology has just warped the mind of even the school staff. These girls, when they complained, the gym teacher told them to stop being dramatic and that it would be discriminatory to not allow the boy who was harassing and intimidating the girls to change. And so the girls started to try to use the gender neutral space, the family locker rooms. And when they did, they were late for class and they got unexcused absences and failing grades. They kicked the girls out of the gender neutral space, a space that the boys should have gone to. Instead, the girls were lining up trying to use it to escape from this boy. It's just insane. And then it gets even worse because this boy is alleged to have yelled at the girls, pushed the girls, even thrown one of their Chromebooks against the wall when they demanded that he get out of the space, that they told him they were uncomfortable changing in front of him. And the school took the side of this boy instead of protecting the girls. And, it's just, they were told they were not being inclusive and that it would be discriminatory. So their rights, their safety, their privacy came a distant second to this biological boy who identified as trans. And this defies all common sense. And to prioritize the feelings of this boy over all of the girls. And I just sometimes think my head is going to explode, but when parents wrote emails and then they complained, of course, they were gaslighted. They were told, oh yeah, we're going to take care of this. And then they didn't. And there was a huge uproar, and Moms for Liberty members fought valiantly, going to school board meetings, demanding that this policy be changed. And instead, the school board voted 5-2 to continue to implement the old Biden version of Title IX in open defiance of President Trump. And knowing that these executive orders were going to come, knowing that there was going to be a change in the definition back to, there are two sexes, male and female, they still went forward, and they continue to this day to advocate for policies that violate the executive order.
It's terrible. Thank you. I want to just summarize so the audience really internalize that. So here you have a 200-pound boy. For the record, that's heavier than me. Okay, I weigh like 192 to 195, and I'm 6'5". I'm a pretty big person. 200-pound boy in high school. And so then he then gets fully naked. There's no surgery or anything. So full genitalia, starts rubbing his genitals. So you could make the argument that he's potentially masturbating in front of these girls. We don't know that for sure, but awfully close. And leering at them. Then these minor girls feel violated because there's this pervert touching himself in front of these minor girls. So they decide to disengage. No adult stands up for these girls as this pervert is touching his genitals in front of these girls. They go into the gender-neutral bathroom. And then the gym teachers were telling the girls that they were being dramatic and that they get punished while the pervert ends up becoming the hero of the story. Now, let me tell you one just element of this, and you don't have to comment on this. It was a mistake ever building these gender-neutral bathrooms. You get this because you build these gender-neutral bathrooms. Once you start to accommodate delusion and insanity, then you get this problem. So the thought process, well, if we just build gender-neutral bathrooms, this won't matter because obviously this kid is dealing with an issue. We tried to appease it. And by the way, we saw this in Deerfield High School, the exact same thing about 30 minutes down the street from you, where they have gender-neutral bathrooms. The gender-neutral bathrooms sounded reasonable on the surface and sounded with good intentions. Hey, there's a kid that's struggling. Let's try to accommodate them. But then the kid says, no, I'm actually a woman. Don't put me in some sort of segregated space. And so this becomes, I just want to reemphasize, if you think that you're going to solve it by building another space, you're wrong. And these adults are pushing political agendas. And so I know this might sound like a very blunt question, but for some of these minor girls that are 15 or 16, that might have been their first exposure to male genitalia. So for the rest of their life, they might have now have a scarring image of some pervert in the locker room that they are forced to experience. So their first exposure to male genitalia of some 200-pound guy rubbing himself. That is, I mean, that's psychotic.
It is. It's dangerous. It's psychotic. I would say it's assault. It's sexual harassment. And a Title IX complaint should have been filed by the school for these girls who were abused. And I completely agree with your assessment of these gender-neutral spaces, because you know what they've become? Places for biological girls, actual girls, to hide from the boys. And there are not enough of them. And it's crazy. They don't want to go in the gender neutral space because in their delusion, they want to be affirmed as females. And you were talking about the Deerfield case, and that's exactly what had happened in the middle school, where the parents who suffer from, also some kind of delusion sometimes, they want their kid in the girls' bathroom. They want their kid in the girls' bathroom. This also in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, again, 13 and 14-year-old girls were traumatized, absolutely traumatized when an 18-year-old male exposed himself, showered next to them.
Okay, I think we lost Scarlett for a second. So I just, while Scarlett was talking, I asked this question. Very simple. I asked the question, I said, if a Wisconsin man were to walk into a locker room, got naked, and started rubbing himself, what law would he be breaking? Well, it turns out defined under Wisconsin statute 944.20, this law prohibits public and indecent exposure of one's genitals in a public area, in a pubic area. Such conduct is considered improper or vulgar and is subject to legal penalties. Disorderly conduct under Wisconsin statute 947.01, engaged in behavior that tends to cause or provoke a disturbance. So in the Wisconsin law, it's illegal what this young man is doing. If this young man were just to walk into a Lifetime Fitness or to walk into a Gold's Gym and to start getting naked and started touching himself, he would potentially be arrested. So I do have to just ask, and I know this is why are parents putting up with this? Forget the letters, I'll be honest, these parents aren't fighting hard enough. Tell me what they're doing. Why are they still sending kids to this school? Why are they putting up with this, actually?
Well, there are some parents that have pulled their daughters out of the school, and there are 2 families that are fighting back, and they have legal counsel, and they are working with the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, who has just filed a Title IX complaint against the Westosha Central High School, and they are fighting back legally. Many parents have pulled their daughters out. There are several emails going back and forth, parents going to the school, text messages that you can see that the girls have with their parents where they're saying, I don't want to go in the locker room. I'm afraid to go in the locker room. I do have to agree with you, Charlie. If this was my daughter, there would be hell to pay. I would not rest. And I am treating this case like it is my daughter's and trying to fight back as hard as I can with Moms for Liberty. We are trying to fight for these girls. Where are the adults? Where are the adults?
But also, so this is what, Wauwatosa, or is it
Westosha.
Westosha. I get all my beautiful Native American Wisconsin cities mixed up. So I know it sounds kind of silly. Why doesn't the sheriff just go and arrest this young man?
That's a really good question, especially considering he's alleged to have threatened to shoot up the school.
Oh, that's another element. Yeah, we forgot about that. This young man literally said, I'm going to go shoot up the entire school. So we all have to accommodate. These young girls have to now be exposed by force to male genitalia. They get punished if they don't. So they go to the other locker room, they get an F. He is threatening to shoot up the entire school. And so you must now go through, if you are a teenage girl in Wisconsin, you must go through the humiliation ritual of looking at naked men touch themselves that are 200 pounds. And if you do not while he's leering and taunting them, and if you don't do that, you're being dramatic. At the same time, let me just say this, and I'll keep you for another segment. At the same time, if a young man probably wore a Trump hat at that school and you said that you were offended, that kid would probably have to leave school and all these girls would be given a day off of school. But no. The thing that really is not offensive is if some random dude starts to commit crimes in front of minors. Perfectly fine. That's progress. That is the left. I hope you guys understand that if we do not defeat the Democrat Party and extinguish them as a permanent minority force, they're coming for your kids. Big time. What do we have? ReliefFactor.com. When you hear the term living better, what do you think about? More money, a bigger house, maybe a yacht? What about how you feel physically, how you wake up each day, how you sleep, what activities you can and cannot do? ReliefFactor.com. Wherever you're hurting in 3 weeks or even days, Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That is 1-800-4RELIEF. Wherever you're hurting in 3 weeks or even days, Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. So go to ReliefFactor.com. That is ReliefFactor.com. There is a special election in Wisconsin. It's going to be really tough for Republicans and conservatives. Most Republicans don't care that much about this election tomorrow, but I hope you will vote for Brad Schimmel. We'll be right back. Sure. And then I want you to have a good faith conversation, because we are not going to bring this country together, of which is actually our goal here as part of the MAGA movement, which is why we have an open mic. If you go around accusing people as if we're following Charlie Manson.
You just did the same thing to me.
Well, in all fairness, I said, if this is the standard of our dialogue right now, The Democrat Party is far more of a cult than the Republican Party. That is not a contention that I throw around lightly, but it is, you satisfy the requirements way more than the MAGA movement does.
You haven't asked me enough questions to know that.
Well, that has nothing to do with what I've said.
Yes, it does.
I mean,
You haven't asked me if I would blindly follow some leader of the Democratic Party, which is no. I would only follow if I do the in-depth research of an unbiased source to get my information, and then I base my opinion off of that.
Fair enough. Can you give me an example of an unbiased source?
I mean, like Mayo Clinic or just like any EDU source of college information.
I'll end this. If that's your idea of a biased source,
Off the top of my head.
I would encourage you to dig deeper and be more of a free thinker.
And I will, and I am a free thinker. And I grew up in a conservative household. And once I left my parents and their beliefs, and I moved to college in a very conservative state, I actually become more progressive.
Okay. And so how is your relationship with your parents?
I mean, it's fine. We don't agree on most things, but...
Wait, so they didn't kick you out for having a different opinion? They're terrible cult members. Wait, they still love you for who you are? And do they pay your tuition?
Nope.
Okay.
I pay my own tuition.
Letting everyone know socialism sucks. The Charlie Kirk Show.
Okay, yrefi.com, YREFY.com. Private student loan debt in America totals over $300 billion. Just call 888-YREFI-34 and log on to yrefi.com. That is YREFY.com. May not be available in all 50 states. YREFI offers a 3-minute rate check without any credit impact. Let's face it, if you have distressed or defaulted private student loans, nobody's coming to bail you out, and bankruptcy is not an option. But you could take charge of your situation by contacting YREFI. YREFI refinances distressed and defaulted private student loans, which are different from federal loans. Go to YREFI.com. YREFI can save you thousands of dollars by refinancing your private student loan debt. So when the payment on your distressed or defaulted private student loans is so big that you can't ever get ahead in your finances, YREFI is surely your best option. So go to YREFI.com. That is YREFY.com. That is YREFI.com. YREFI.com. So check it out right now. YREFI.com. It might not be available in all 50 states. Private student loan debt totals over $300 billion. You could take control of your student loan debt. YREFI does not care what your credit score is. So take a look at it right now. YREFI.com. Be right back, everybody. Okay, everybody, the Herzog Foundation, it's a great segue to the conversation we're talking here. Are you rethinking your kid's educational path, wondering if their current school truly supports your family's values? You're not alone, and the Herzog Foundation is here to help. Go to readlion.com to access must-read articles, and don't forget to sign up for the Lion's daily and weekly newsletters. That's readlion.com. Stay informed, stay equipped, and shape your child's future. Go to that is readlion.com. Everything is brought to you by the Herzog Foundation and the Lion. So go to readlion.com, readlion.com, readlion.com to access must-read articles. So stay informed, stay equipped, and shape your child's future. Email us freedom@charliekirk.com and subscribe to our podcast. So Scarlett, so tell us about what Moms for Liberty is doing to fight this in this great state of Wisconsin.
We are doing so much. I'm so proud to be a part of this organization, and we often work with Turning Point in Wisconsin. So we really appreciate all the efforts that they're doing as well. The coalitions that are being built with the state and local GOP, it's amazing. And I've been witnessing this firsthand going all over the state of Wisconsin. But we have a Get Out the Vote ad that's been seen over 1 million times. We have invested in mom and dad ambassadors that travel the state, that talk about stories like this one in West Scotia and so many more. We talk about woke curriculum. a lot of people don't believe it's happening, and they don't believe it's happening in their school. And we prove to them that it is happening. We're targeting over 300,000 low propensity voters across the state. There are 400 school board races. Those are very important. And so we are funding with our PAC, we are funding some select races. We are sending out texts. We have 22 chapters, and each chapter and members are working to get sensible, common sense conservative school board members elected. Where we have conservative school boards, this insanity just doesn't happen, and they return back to the basics and common sense. So everything is local. The more that you can do locally, the better. And we are supporting Brittany Kinzer in the state superintendent race, which is very, very important. And of course, we're supporting Brad Schimmel and the state Supreme Court race.
So again, just tell me really quick, where does this case stand with the young man who is basically the young ladies that are forced to watch pornographic humiliation rituals? Where does that stand now?
Right now, the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty has filed a Title IX complaint with the Trump administration, and there is a lawsuit filed with two families. And I really think that obviously now with Trump in office, that there's going to be some effort, hopefully, to defund this county, this school district. But just because we have Trump in office, which is terrific, but that's not enough. The woke never stop. So team sanity, we must work to win these elections on April 1st. Now, you can't early vote today, but tomorrow you can go vote, and you can take 10 people with you, because it matters. If we can get, right now, there are conservative Moms for Liberty endorsed candidates in Westosha running. And if they win, they could change this at the local level too. So that's a huge option. And, what's happening with judges, what we're seeing nationally, that's happening in Wisconsin as well. We need common sense judges that aren't going to legislate from the bench. And I'm sure, Charlie, I know you've talked about this, but there is a plan by the Democratic Party that if they win, if Susan Crawford wins, they are immediately going to gerrymander Wisconsin congressional districts so that 2 seats would be targeted and likely lost. And that could disrupt right now the Republican majority in the House. And you know what they're going to do if they get that majority? You know what they're going to do right away. They're going to go back to impeaching Trump. They're going to go after Doge. They're going to stop Trump any way that they can. And that's why this is so important, because all of the change that Trump is doing, which is tremendous, and I'm happy every day about it, but it is threatened by this simple race in Wisconsin, the state Supreme Court race. So if you voted for Trump in November, you need to vote for Brad Schimmel on April 1st, tomorrow.
Very good. Scarlett, God bless you, and keep fighting hard on the ground. And I hope that enough Republicans care about their state to show up for Brad Schimmel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Email us, freedom@charliekirk.com. A reminder, tomorrow I will be at Oklahoma State University in Stillwater, Oklahoma. That is Oklahoma State University. Next week, we're going to be all over the Midwest. So email us, freedom@charliekirk.com, and subscribe to our podcast. I've heard a lot of these trans stories. That one might be the most shocking. A kid who wants to shoot up the school, fully gets naked, touches himself, basically masturbates, and the girls get punished and get an F for not watching it and not being around it. Remarkable. Welcome to the left. See you guys tomorrow.
So when you hear Charlie Kirk say that this is the worst story about transgender, the treatment of biological girls when there is a transgender boy wanting to use their space, he said this is the worst story he's ever heard. This story in Wisconsin. And this is Charlie Kirk, millions of followers. Everyone knows who he is. He must read and hear so many stories. What he heard from me yesterday was the worst he's ever heard here in Wisconsin. Wisconsin, it's happening here. We have a problem. You can get out and vote, and you can help be a part of the solution. I'm glad I was able to play that entire segment, and I wanted to play it with Charlie's ads and his sponsors because I'm so grateful that he had me on his show. And if you would like to watch that, I've reposted the entire episode. I will do another repost, so it's higher up in my feed because I've been posting like crazy about this election. You can watch the entire episode. You can subscribe. He is on Real America's Voice Live on X every day, and his producers Larry and Andrew were wonderful to work with. And I've been texting back and forth with Larry all day, who he lives in Illinois, and he's keenly watching what's happening in Wisconsin. And they're all pulling for us here in Wisconsin. And on that, I actually do have good news. And when I point out this news, again, this is not to suppress vote, not to say, hey, we're good, because we are not good. This is what I'm about to show you. I follow Data Republican, and she is a genius with numbers, and Elon Musk constantly reposts her work, and she reposts a lot of other people that work with models and data. So what you see now, this is guessing and estimates. These estimates are based on turnout models, and we're not done voting yet. So these estimates are based on 3 more hours of exactly what is happening right now. So a turnout model. So it doesn't mean, oh, great, stop right now. Stop. What time is it? 5:03. No, these models are based on 3 more hours of the same level of turnouts. The statistical data model. So if suddenly, abruptly, the crowd of sane, common sense people that were going to go vote for Brad Schimmel and Brittany Kinzer and school board candidates decide, oh, hey, turnout's great, I'm going to go home and Netflix and chill instead of going out to vote, then these models crumble and we lose. Okay, so just wanted to put that caveat. So I'm going to share my screen. So Data Republican. Now, first we start with, this was about 5 hours ago. And what she's doing is she is correlating what's happening in Florida with what that would mean in Wisconsin, because there are 2 special elections in Florida. Democrats were trying to actually go out there and say, yeah, we got a chance. Yeah, we're gonna take a seat. No one actually believed that. They're going to project that, but that wasn't a viable option. But how close were they going to get? Were they going to give Republicans a run for the money? Were they going to turn out at a level that was higher than in 2024? Were Republicans going to have a depressed turnout? So here we go. Florida is on track to break 100,000 election day votes with a staggering R plus 35 margin or better. That would put the overall margin near R plus 20 with a push towards plus 25. Yes, Florida is a red state, but what is happening today isn't normal red. It is supernova red. This is very good news. Here's why this is bullish for Wisconsin and for Schimmel. Special elections are all about turnout. With fewer voters overall, even a modest momentum swing can flip a race. And what we're seeing in Florida isn't modest. Florida usually sees a 25% votes cast on election day. Today, it's headed north of 33%. That is a massive same-day surge for the GOP, a clear sign of last-minute energy. If that same surge hits Wisconsin, Schimmel has a shot to win. And if he does, credit will belong to the grassroots like Moms for Liberty, Grassroots like Turning Point, grassroots like the Farm Team with the state GOP, Pressler, Elon Musk coming in, the America for Prosperity, so many different groups doing so much for this state. Credit will belong to the grassroots push of texting, organizing, showing up, and the messaging war being fought right here on X. Let's keep pushing. Momentum is real. Victory is in reach. Don't stop. Text like it matters, because it does. Use at early vote action to drive turnout now. So I am reposting this right now so that everyone can share this. It's good news, but there's more. Okay, there's more. So, Christian Hines, there's no mathematical way to sort through all the swing voters. But among base partisan voters, essentially confirmed R's and D's, the GOP is doing 11.7 better than they were heading into the 2023 Supreme Court election. We lost that race, Dan Kelly race, by 11.02. So right now, our turnout is 11.7. It's projected to be close to 12%. In 2023, we lost by 11%, which means we are turning out at a greater rate than in 2023. This is good news. Okay, let's look at some other. So again, you are seeing an R plus 36. If you see right here, 2024, it was R plus 29. So that if the surge that is happening in Florida, they are estimating that there would be a similar surge here in Wisconsin, which is what it's looking like. This is interesting right here. City of Muskego in Washoe County. This is a conservative area. Voter 1270 reported in a district covering 3 wards that he had 1332 ballots in 2023 and broke 67.9% for Kelly. So they're saying that they're already very close, and this was a while back. So they're the next 2 hours. So they're about, they are ahead. They're already ahead in a conservative area, the city of Muskego in Washington County. What we have been trying to do is really increase the turnout in the red areas and make up for any sort of surge that could be happening in Milwaukee. So that's looking good. Here's another one. 1.85 million election day votes, 975,000 more than 2023, 1.9 million. So the voter turnout is really high, and that would be good. That looks like it would be good for really good for us. So again, you can follow Data Republican, and there's a lot of really good information on there. I think I'll give my final thoughts. I think that there is hope. There is absolute hope. I like what was said right here. Don't stop. Text like it matters, because it does. Let's keep pushing. The momentum is real, and victory is in reach. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep pushing. The momentum is real, and victory is in reach. So I think that with that, I am soon going to head out, but I am going to come back. I want to just see if there's anything else out there that's new to report. Oh, let's see. I want to show you guys this because this looks really good. Let's share this. So look at, so we've got TP Action War Room right here. So you can see that they're doing a lot of phone banking. I can tell you for Moms for Liberty, we are also doing a lot of phone banking today. We've have a series of lists. We have mailed out, I think it was 77,000 postcards. We are engaging in the phone banking. We have a lot of volunteers scheduled tonight to, or actually right now, we have a lot of volunteers that are monitoring. They are observers, they volunteer, and then they're volunteering at night to, as votes are counted, to be observers. So what we're doing at Moms for Liberty, it just encompasses the total picture, helping to recruit candidates, to train candidates, to inform, empower, and engage with parents and community members, then to help campaigns, to give advice, to help with the grassroots work, the door knocking, door to door. Then Moms for Liberty is an organization contributing financial help through their PAC and targeted organizations, doing massive email campaigns, postcard campaigns. We have get out the vote ads. We don't tell people who to vote for. We do encourage folks that look like they would vote for common sense conservative candidates. We let them know, hey, get out and vote, bring 10 people with you. Our get out the votes ads have been seen by millions. Today, we engaged in a lot of promotions, promoting posts on social media, encouraging get out the vote, making folks aware of the issues. So I can say that really our volunteers, our ambassadors, our organization, we want to make sure we put it all out there, that we are the contenders, that I'm losing my voice from talking so much today, and that's fine. That's great. I also was part of the for the we've been traveling the state for months, leading up to this election, laying the groundwork, hoping to get volunteers, get people excited, encourage them to volunteer, get out the vote, be part of the change. And over the last week, I've been traveling with the Schimmel bus tour, representing moms and parents and talking about the issues that matter to us, and going across the state again. And that's been great. And a lot of work on social media as well. So I'm very proud of everything that we've done. And I'm so proud of our organization. I'm so proud of all of the coalitions that I and our 31,000 Moms for Liberty subscribers, our thousands of Moms for Liberty members. As a matter of fact, before I head out, I do want to accurately put out, this is our 2024 report. Talk about what we've done. We We have in 2024 donated 200,000 pocket constitutions. We've attended 4,800 school board meetings, hosted 3,000 events, donated 1,000 children's books to public schools. We have 320 chapters in 48 states, and specifically in Wisconsin, we have passed, there's only so much legislation we can pass with Tony Evers, but we have passed the Right to Read Act, the Technical Education Grants, AB 500, and financial literacy requirements. And we had a Wisconsin town hall with 1,000 attendees over in July of 2024. And we have, in Wisconsin, in 2024, we targeted hundreds of thousands of folks through get out the vote efforts. And we targeted low propensity voters, and we were successful in getting 92% of those voters to the polls, which was huge. We grew our chapters from 10 to 22 in a very short period of time. We, I think, more than doubled, maybe tripled our membership, and we definitely tripled our subscriber list to our national email. So I shout out to all the work of all of our Moms for Liberty moms and dads across Wisconsin. Thank you for all that you're doing. And we are supporting legislation right now, legislation that is working its way through the Wisconsin State Assembly to the State Senate. And we have a list of our legislative priorities online, and we are just doing everything we can to fight for our children. You can see my shirt, fight like a mom. So continue to please fight like a mom, and that's how we're going to win. So I'm going to sign off right now because I have to go get my daughter from basketball. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We've had a really high live viewing, and I had to wear my glasses because I've been staring at the screen so much that I can see double. I really appreciate tuning in. I will be back. I will talk. Wait to get a little bit more updates. I'll actually eat something I haven't really eaten today. Make some calls and come back with hopefully some more good news. But I think that I'm gonna be up all night. I'm going to. I will bring my selfie stick. I will bring my stand. I need to get a microphone, but and I am going to be informing you of what's happening, boots on the ground in Wisconsin. I'm not Charlie Kirk. I am not Scott Pressler. I am, if you looked around in the room that I am in, there is a crib directly across from me. So, and there's crib and toys and a little car. I am just a mom. And so the perspective that you are getting is from a normal, regular person that is out there trying to be the voice for all normal, regular people in Wisconsin and in this country. And because you all need a voice, you all need to hear, you need to hear real things from real people. I have no sponsors. I am, this is all real. And I have nothing to gain except for a freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in a country that I hope to leave better than, to leave it for my children better, not woke. So thank you, everyone, and I will be back shortly.